when I started, I could only do like 2 games and maybe not even that. And now I can do 3 games regularly. And my accuracy is about like 0 to 2 wrong on the 3 games that I am doing. But even if I have time left over, it's like 30 seconds max. And I feel like I'm already pushing the limit of how fast I can do the games. So I don't know how to make that jump to a 4th game.
Yeah, it's a common situation, 3 games versus 4. Anybody on the call right now have any support for Amanda or any ideas for Amanda around the getting to that 4th game and solving it with sufficient time?
Just a tip from like my perspective. It might seem like counterintuitive, but if you work on the easier games and you can get like shortcuts and things like that, and just like almost like understanding like the patterns, then like you can get to a place where those are shorter and you have time for the longer games. Like it's not fair to think to yourself that you have to get every single game done in 8 minutes and 45 seconds. Like some are going to be less, some are going to be more. And just like understanding that and like being patient with yourself.
Okay. Yeah. I definitely noticed that like for sequencing, I do those shorter, but because it's so much easier for me, I haven't spent enough time practicing. And I guess you're right. If I do that and I can get those down to like 6 minutes or 7 minutes, and I have more time for the harder ones. Thank you.
That is exactly right. So 8:45 is simply an average. I would never time individual games because they vary in difficulty. Some games that are easier could take as little as 6 minutes. That's actually realistic for a lot of games. And other games may take 11 minutes or 12 minutes, and that's perfectly fine. So, for example, let's say the Birds in the Forest game, Test 33 Game 2. That is a difficult conditional in-out game. It's difficult in general, but in the world of the LSAT, that's actually a relatively easier game where anybody with enough studying could get that down to 6 minutes. However, a tougher game like the CDs game, Test 31 Game 2, featured in Legally Blonde with the used in new CDs, that game, it's totally fine. And if that takes 11 or 12 minutes for anybody on a first look, I can show you ways to get it faster, but looking at it cold, 11, 12 minutes, totally reasonable. So never time individual games. And best, if you're doing them timed, I would say only do it in the context of a timed 35-minute section, or more if you've got extra time, but do it under realistic test day conditions, only the 4 games in the section as it's published.
Okay.
Practice like game day, especially in this final month for August. Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them. And feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.